This is a Sage Story.
My name is Mona McCallum. I was born May 23rd, 1945.
Okay.
Well, the first time I knew that it was something different was I was in the 4th grade and I was kissing all the girls in there, and my teacher sent a note home to my mother to saying that Mona has been kissing the girls in school and that is not okay. And that's when I knew something was different. Well, the feelings that I had about, wanting to be with a girl, those feelings I hid really, I hid them really strong. I didn't want people to know that I like girls. I hadn't even put a name to it yet, whether I was gay, lesbian, butch, whatever. I hadn't put a name to it, but I didn't want anybody to know about it. I was afraid that people would judge me and saying something was wrong with me, or call me names like Fullbagger. And that was a name where people used to call women who were same-sex loving women. Well, I hid it so well, I actually went and got married to a man. So I figured, well, if I'm marrying a man, that no one's going to know that I like women. Though they just won't know that. I mean, who would marry a man and also be gay? So I figured I would do it. The marriage worked out zero. I mean, 3 months married. I was married to a man for 3 months. Did not work out at all. And so he never even knew who I really was. It ended in divorce and him finding out, because people started telling him that I was gay, and he did not believe it at first, but he had to. After a while, he just knew that something was wrong there. Now, my coming out process was I started hanging out with some friends of mine who were gay, and we used to go to a bar in Newark, and it wasn't a gay bar. It was just a bar that a lot of gay people hung out at, and I at that point was still trying to be feminine and wearing feminine clothes, but I was coming out, but I was half coming out, because my true feelings was I didn't want to be a girl. I wanted to be a boy, and when I did come out, and I came to the bar one time and I had these men's clothes on, everybody laughed at me, because this is who I really was. This is my true feeling. And then I started hanging out in New York City. Went to this a bar. It's called Bonnie and Clyde, and at that time, back in the '60s. The women had their bars and the men had their bars. So when I went to the bar, it was just women. I didn't have to worry about men being there. And that started my coming out process. How my family found out about it, I wrote my mother and my stepmother and my father a letter and saying that I was gay. And the reason I wrote the letter, because I was afraid what they might say, and I didn't really want to hear it. And when they got that letter, they called me, and they said, no matter what you do, we still love you, And we, of course, they didn't want me to murder anybody, but that was the thing that they used. They said, even if you went out and murdered somebody, we would still love you. And to my surprise, they already knew. I did not think that they knew, but I was hiding it, and it was more so I was kind of hiding it from myself and not from them, because they already knew that I was gay. It's been kind of two kind of ways. At first, it didn't feel very good, but as my life went on, and I really came out. I really started doing what I really wanted to do. And it's been, oh my God, it's especially for these last 20 years, it's been wonderful because even I had an ex to call me, and she actually said, I'm glad you're living the life that you always wanted to live. And I feel that way too. I'm just, I feel so good inside. I don't have to hide anymore. I feel free. And everybody knows me, and everybody knows that I am gay, and they accept me for who I am. My advice to them is that they have to live their own lives, because even if their parents say, this is no good, you're going to be laughed at, or you're going to be made fun of, or for one thing, they can't live their parents' life, because they can live if they want to, but they're going to be miserable. They have to live their own life, and no matter what, and get involved with some young people's groups that are even some young people's church groups, and just be who you are, be yourself. And that's all the advice I can give. If I have a regret, is a regret that I wasn't totally honest with a lot of people coming up and hiding who I really was, you know, and that, I think the young people today have it really good, because they're not, they don't be made fun of a majority of the times and everything. But with back in the 60s, it was very hard. It was very hard, and we had to live that hard life, you know. And the only thing that I could say is that just be yourself.
Share your story at sageusa.org/Sage Story.